All right, so I'm going to interview you guys on the mission and vision in Holstrom. And so let's start with number one. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is one of our mission statements includes a goal of 21st century learning for the students. So a lot of times we recognize a couple of teachers in our building, Laura and Christina, who do a lot of work with 21st, not just technology, but 21st learning, worldwide, global implements, and they get recognized quite a bit with having them teach early release days, share that information with the staff.
I think too, when we have those 21st century days, and what was that thing called where you did the slam, so people learn things that way, and so other teachers are recognized for things that they're trying in the classroom also, that they've learned from Laura and Christina.
How do you feel, I know excellence is part of our mission and vision, how do you celebrate excellence here? Or how do you gauge excellence or know when it's happening?
I think a lot of times for me it feels like it's related to test scores, and sometimes that feels like that's the only time we really have concrete evidence of excellent teaching or excellent learning or performance by the students. So sometimes when those results come out, comparisons of how we're doing compared to other schools with similar populations, you know, that gets acknowledged at that time, I think.
And awards that our school gets.
John Irwin.
And there's another one that we get.
So awards from the state,
Yeah.
you're recognized.
Yeah.
Would you say teachers are individually recognized?
I don't think so.
For
Yeah,
grade level
not as
teams?
much.
Not as
No.
much.
Well, sometimes grade level teams more than others are recognized for doing things that
Sometimes
to
not,
encourage us to do the same thing.
maybe not for test scores, because they feel more like that's a community effort, that if they test on 5th grade, that was impacted by what they learned in 4th grade, so I think they get away from that. But maybe for more global projects like the garden that 2nd grade did, community projects, I think sometimes there's at least recognition and appreciation shown for those types of things.
What would you like to see us work on, or maybe some ideas to celebrate the excellence here at Holstrom?
I guess my feeling would be I would love to have that sometimes come more from the leadership versus like me promoting something Karen did great. It's a good way to promote it, but sometimes it feels more significant when that comes from your leader, recognizing those things and sharing that out. And I know that's kind of risky, so you don't have favorites and those kinds of things. But if that was more consistent,
I agree. Like,
we would hear about more things.
I think that's something that we talk about every single year, especially when that climate and culture survey comes out. That's one area that people, I think, focus on, is that there isn't that recognition when it's needed.
Okay. Do you feel like students are celebrated? Do you think they feel recognized for their excellence?
Within the classrooms, I think it varies teacher to teacher. Some people have a wall where they put up excellent work, or they show samples of students' work. That's what I do in my room.
Well, and I think teachers are good about recognizing their own students. Like, I had a student that got something published in Storyworks magazine, and so I sent that out to the whole staff, so the whole staff knew, and then the library took a picture of him and put it on Facebook. So I think if teachers recognize their own students to everyone else, I think they are recognized.
Are they still recognized, the behavior, positive behavior?
We haven't
as
done
a
that
school?
quite as much this year. There's a little bit of it with the individual classrooms, but I don't think that's shared outright. We still recognize them in the class and specials, and then they can get a positive office referral, or they're sent to the office,
and then
right?
they announce too when different classes earn their certain amount of stars, and
Yeah, if the whole classes earn that.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 2. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to staff, students, and the community?
I think with staff, I mean, we're kept updated at different meetings and things where those are shared, like the technology things, and sometimes people are recognized at those staff meetings.
With community, we put things on the website. I think as much as they can, update it. Like with her student, that picture went on the website, and awards go on the website. And
Once students are recognized, like Tabitha said, by their own teachers, and then if you're giving that information out to the staff or whatever, then they might see somebody in the hall, hey, I saw that you won that award, congratulations or good job, the way that,
Yeah, very nice. So for taking a different angle on that question with maybe incoming kindergartners or prospective families, do you think the mission and vision is shared or communicated effectively to new families or new kinders?
I think there's quite a bit on the website that you can click on different areas to see happenings at the school. There's photo rolls, there's write-ups. Sometimes it's hard to try to remember to get as much on there as you can and to update it. I think so, though. I'm not sure how else you would. I
The
don't know how
kinder
much more.
nights, do they receive?
You mean for kindergartners coming in to
Mhm.
school prospective? Yeah, that we do the posters around with showing all the activities and what the students are involved in. So I think that's kind of a way of celebrating all of their extracurricular, some of it in class, some of it out of class
they hear
activities.
from current students
Mhm.
about the school and things that they can do here.
How do you think the school is viewed by the community? Do you think they view it as an excellent school?
I think so. I think most of that they just look at test scores, and the test scores are strong, so that's a big overall factor. I think we could probably do a better job of promoting or actually doing a lot of other opportunities for students beyond that.
Mhm.
But I think the community in general sees it as a strong academic school.
I agree.
Okay, number 3, how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? So you can look at teachers or students.
I think the teachers do a good job of modeling to the students that it's okay to try something and not get it right the first time, and if you don't, then figure out strategies to change and maybe be successful, maybe not even the second time but the third time, but just using the different strategies to try and be successful, but it's okay to fail the first time.
I think with the 21st century learning that we do, the training that the teachers do, I hear a lot of teachers say, oh, I just told my students, hey, this is new to me, but we're going to try this, so we're going to learn this together. And I don't know that I would have heard that maybe 25 years ago teaching, that the teachers were supposed to be the expert know-it-all. And now I think it's more of a cooperative process, and the students, I think, are very responsive to that. And hopefully you always have a student who goes, oh, I can show you or help you, which is awesome
Oh,
as
yeah.
a teacher too.
It can always help us too. Do you think teachers are encouraged to take risks in their classrooms by
Technology, I would say, for
Yeah,
sure, at our
administration,
school.
Yeah.
Laura and Christine, again, really encourage that. The current administration gives us, I think, quite a bit of time to work on and practice those strategies. Also, with the new curriculum we've gotten, there's been an understanding of, we know you're in a learning process of it. If you're kind of reading it over in the classroom, there's been some understanding of that, trying and modifying as needed.
Well, and opportunities for us, for goal setting for us too.
Mhm.
In the writing lessons, they ask us to think of one thing that we want to work on in the classroom until the next time that we really want to, that haven't been doing, that we should start doing.
How about often being a gifted magnet school, there was talk about teaching gifted kids grit and perseverance. What's
I do
your
that every year with my
take on
kids.
that?
She has a great program, she actually does.
Yeah, so I think that's really important for the kids, and just showing them, like I said, that it's okay to fail the first time. I have a bulletin board in my room that says words to live by, and we talk about quotes, like inspirational quotes, and talk about what they mean and how everything's not going to be easy the first time, and it's important to know how to take those risks and fail if you need to, and then keep trying.
Good. How about teacher failure? Is that addressed, or not necessarily failure, but struggle? Do you feel like it's okay to struggle as a teacher here?
I think it depends on the teacher. I think some teachers really worry about that, the way evaluations are set up now with test scores and very specific things. I think there is quite a bit of stress on that. If you try something and it doesn't work, there can be a negative repercussion because of that. So I see the pros and cons or both sides of that. And I think some teachers are naturally more confident and willing to try things, and if it doesn't work, understand, and other people are a little bit afraid to try things for that fear of it not working. I think they try to promote that in the building, that, you know, be willing to try something and see if it works.
Great. Okay, last one, number 4. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
I think that our staff does a really good job. Whenever we have a meeting, they do some sort of icebreaker where we have to, like coming back from break, they just gave us time to talk about what did you do over break and celebrate the things that we did. So I think they do a good job with that, especially Kim Spence. Does fun, activities like that just to get the staff together. We were encouraged coming back the other day, instead of going out to lunch, we all ate together as a staff.
So that's building that feeling of family, I guess, a little bit, that you do care what's going on in the room next to you, instead of only worrying about your students who are currently in your classroom. Building that community a little bit better has been a focus this year with our new administrator, to help build the trust issues. And then I think as you're improving morale, that just naturally helps when you actually do know the person next to you or care about those students and that teacher.
Well, I think it's important for the kids to know that you care about them also, and they will say that it feels like a family being here because they know that the teachers care about them, and you know about what sports they play. I can see former kids in the hallway, hey, how's your hockey going or whatever, and they like that you remember things from when they were in your class.
Yeah.
I'd say one thing we're working on that with the kids with continuing the excellence is starting that vertical dialogue more. We used to be very good at that, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, had a lot of that, and I think that helped with the kids be successful K through 8, and we, in my opinion, lost that for a while, and we're working on that again with not just, okay, they're out of my room now, they're no longer my concern, but really checking in, following up, making sure the teacher knows, hey, they were successful with this, or they shouldn't be having this problem, or if they're having this problem, I can help.
Yeah, so you're talking about that branch between K-5 and then moving up to the 6-8?
Yeah, even among elementary, having the former teachers, giving kids a chance to kind of see some former teachers is interesting in the hall when they pass by, like their first grade teacher. Our kids this year, they just go crazy when they see Lisa and they hug her, and you're like, we're in the same building. Why don't they get to see them a little bit and keep that connection? I think that's a really big thing that we lost for a while.
Well, and it's good to recognize those kids that maybe struggled a lot when they were in the younger grades, and and we always talk about, oh my gosh, they've grown so much from when they were in first grade. Now they can be in the classroom all day and not have any issues compared to what they were in first grade. And the kids, we tell them that too.
Yeah.
Look how much you've grown and become a better student.
To acknowledge that growth, instead of you get this student in your room, you're like, oh, they can't do this and they can't do that, and you don't know all the struggles they've overcome already without that communication. I think that's a big deal, and building that child's self-worth and their strive for excellence. If they get to the new teacher that just says, gee, you don't do this very well, there's no recognition of how far they've come.
Do you have school traditions? Yearly things or events or things?
Pi Day.
Yeah, Pi Day's a big one.
Earth Day.
We just started a new one this year. On the very first day of school, they do a big school parade where they all come in together, and the middle school kind of cheers everybody on into the building, and they walk through a thing of balloons. It was I didn't want to do it, but it was pretty cool. It turned out pretty cool, and I think that does help set the year off with a common, for K through 8, it's kind of hard sometimes to find something they can all do. I think Pi Day is one they can all get into. We talked about that recently, that it's hard to do K-8 assemblies. We do the band as music, programs, choir programs that the whole school can go watch. The play.
The Global Read Aloud.
Global Read Aloud.
Code.